folks, Scott here with my Simon Says Stamp November 2017 card kit. Let's see what we get in our kit this month. This is the Kind Flowers card kit from Simon Says Stamp. This is, of course, our inspiration sheet. This month we are treated to a 6x8" stamp set, the Kind Flowers stamp set. This is the largest stamp set I've seen with the Simon Says Stamp Kit. This is very nice. This big kind flower arrangement, lots of different flowers, kind and kindness in a script font, in a block font, lots of kindness sentiments here. Looks like a nice dotted line border. Of course, we get little hearts and flowers and dots. Beautiful stamp set. Great big stamp set. That's always a very good treat to get. There's also a bold kind die, a matching die that comes in this set. Matches the kind stamp here, matches the kind in the middle of the flower arrangement. Great, great, great stamp set. We also get 18 single-sided sheets of pattern paper and an accent sticker sheet from the Pebbles Heart of Home collection. This is the sticker sheet. There we go. Very nice. Many different styles on display here. Some sentiments, some images, kind of home and family oriented. That's the sticker sheet, a 12x12 sticker sheet. We get 18 sheets of pattern paper, single-sided pattern paper. These are all small sentiments here. A lovely rose wallpaper. Ooh, there's some nice foiling on these pattern papers. Really nice. That's quite pretty. More of an intricate pattern. Botanicals. This is all browns and beiges. Lots of gold foiling. Some pink, of course. I guess we can't have a Simon Says Stamp card kit without pink. More tags and sentiments in this pattern paper. That's pretty. Gold embossed foil on top of pink. That's nice. More of a brown. Looks like this kind of has a bit of a wood theme going through this also. This is very pretty pattern paper. All gold foil words. Thankful, blessed, home, sweet, love, heart, adventure. And these flowers on this pattern paper echo the flowers in the stamps. More sentiments. These are nice, larger. My Tribe, Choose Joy. I do love that Choose Joy. There's more of those wood grain things here too. A little bit of a wood theme here. This is a lovely piece. I'm not quite sure what to do with that. It's as a 6x6 pattern paper that's too big for a card, but maybe we can use part of that. More, this introduces a little bit of gray, it seems. A little touch of yellow. This is a nice plaid. This is gorgeous. Very, very soft gray with that gold foiling on top of it. Absolutely gorgeous. 18 sheets of pattern paper. We get 3 sheets of embossed paper. Now this says silver, bronze, and gold. I can see the silver. This is the bronze. I think that is absolutely stunning. That's just gorgeous paper. Absolutely. These are all 3 very interesting. The pebble texture here, and this must be the gold. Yeah, I can kind of see a gold there with the big embossed flowers. This is like something I'd see in Grandma's bathroom from long time ago. We also get a bag of Doris gold metal leaves, large metal leaves. And then we get into the cardstock. Simon Says Stamp 100-pound cardstock in dark chocolate, cream, green apple, and green leaf. So we get 4 cardstocks this month. This cream looks actually pretty close to my Staples Ivory, so maybe I'll pull an extra ivory piece of cardstock to finish my card bases. Now, I didn't think my old standby, the Staples Ivory cardstock, was a very good match. It was very close, but just seemed a little off to me. So I went to my Staples gray cardstock. I keep this on hand also for templates and mock-ups. Great stuff. Again, it's just as cheap as the ivory. The gray and the ivory, I keep it on hand all of the time. So I made 2 card bases out of the gray because there was quite a bit of gray in the pattern papers and stickers and stuff. I decided to play with some watercolors with this kit because of the great flower stamps and everything. So I broke out my Strathmore cold press 140-pound watercolor paper. This is inexpensive, plain, normal watercolor paper. Of course, I wanted to start with the stamps, which is what I'll usually do with a kit like this, and was dying to see what kind of results I could get with this big stamp with the kind in the middle of it. So I stamped it on my watercolor paper. This is stamped in VersaFine Onyx Black ink and then embossed with some clear embossing powder. This is on the Strathmore watercolor paper. I cut that out with one of my stitched rectangle dies from Lawn Fawn. That is foam taped up on some of that nice gingham check pattern paper. It's kind of a magenta pink. It's not a real pink. I thought the pink and green went very well here. I also cut that pattern paper with a stitched rectangle die from Lawn Fawn. I used my Zig Clean color markers to color the kind on this. Just the pale green and the yellow. Just those 2 pens gave me this great coloring on the kind word in the middle of that. Once I achieved that nice ombre, I was like, okay, I'm giving up. I'm not going to put any more color on this card. It matched so well with the green card base from the kit. I simply stamped out a Be Courageous and Kind. That's on the watercolor paper. I did use my VersaFine Onyx Black ink for that. So are a few sequins from my stash. A nice kind of off pink. I don't know how lucky I was to find that. I don't know where that came from. Green and pink sequins for a little sparkle. Be Courageous and Kind. I really like the ombre kind in the middle. It really pops with none of the flowers colored. This card made me very happy, even with pink. Pink and green always go good together. For this next card, I dug into that Daniel Smith swatch palette that we got with our Simon Says stamp June 2017. I used the sap green from the Daniel Smith palette on my second card. This one is stamped in Versa Mark and embossed with gold embossing powder. Again, cut out with the stitched rectangle die from Lawn Fawn. This time I stamped the kind, the individual stamp, and cut it out with the die. We got a nice die in the kit that matched the kind. It was a little hard to position this die. Definitely practice is needed. I mounted that up again on foam tape on top of some pattern paper from the kit. That pattern paper is also cut out with a Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle die. That's all on the green leaf card base from the kit. This is colored with the sap green, watercolored with the sap green. Again, I got a really nice ombre on that. I was very pleased. I love the gold embossing on the white watercolor paper. Stamped the "You Are One of A" on a piece of watercolor paper and trimmed that down. Everything's mounted up on some foam tape here. I did break into some gold glitter cardstock for a little bit of a stripy mat around the edge. I thought it went really well with the gold embossing, and it gave a nice sparkle to this card. No sequins needed. You Are One of a Kind. Again, because I got that nice ombre, I didn't bother to color the flowers. It's really such an interesting stamp. I think you can get away with not coloring the flowers. I think these both work very well with just the kind colored. No more of that, I promise. Let's get into some real watercoloring here. I broke out my Pelican gouache watercolors. These are watercolors I have had forever and a day. I love them, use them whenever I watercolor. Pelican opaque watercolors. I broke into one of my gray card bases for this third card. And here we have It's cool to be kind. I really, really like this one. I did use the watercolors to color all of the flowers on this. As this is all on the gray, this is that great gray pattern paper that had that gold leafing on it. The little strips on the top and bottom are actually that top strip of that pattern paper. We had that little strip of different pattern paper at the top of all of the pattern paper sheets. So these are trimmed from that top part of this pattern paper. These grays all work very nicely together. I did color the kind in gray, so it matched everything else. It's cool to be kind. Now, I did print that up using my Silhouette software. This is in the Arial 9-point font. It's cool to be. I was thrilled to discover that my printer would actually take a strip of that watercolor paper with no problem. So I just did my little piggyback printing, printed it on a plain paper, put the watercolor paper over it, taped the leading edge that goes into the printer, and printed it right up on watercolor paper. So this is that watercolor paper trimmed down into a nice little flag. It's cool to be kind. This is card number 3. I really like this. Very nice. The grays work very well, and I think make the colors really pop on that card. I definitely wanted to play with some of those embossed textured paper in the kit. So it didn't take me long. But this is what I came up with for my 4th card. That's right. It says home is where the art is. This again is on a gray card base, my gray card bases. I used the gold embossed paper to create a mat for the back. I just cut that straight out, glued that straight down. I did cut a frame from that bronze embossed paper with 2 Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle dies, just taped right together. They make very nice frames. Just some black cardstock from my stash. This is one of the stickers from the kit. A nice silhouette. Home is where the art is. I thought this was great fun. I really liked this silhouette. I couldn't think of any other way to use that in the sticker set. There was 4 silhouettes, I think. I really liked that the little flower on her head kind of matches the embossed paper. Yes, home is where the art is. This sentiment is in the ballerina script font. I just created that in my silhouette and let my silhouette cut it out. There are 5 layers there, so it's a nice chunky, all glued together sentiment down at the bottom, almost half as high as the frame. Of course, the frame is mounted up on some foam tape. Home is where the art is. It's really a beautiful card, too. This paper is gorgeous. I love this bronze paper especially. Just stunning. This, again, I think it looks like wallpaper. Okay, now I'm into the stickers. I'm starting to play with the stickers. It was interesting. I thought that the stamp set didn't really go with the stickers and the pattern paper, but the flowers kind of worked with the pattern paper. But I felt like the stamp set was all about kindness, and yet the pattern papers and stickers were all about home and family. So we get away from the kindness here and go to you are my home. This is a sentiment from one of the pattern papers. Now, last card kit I did, I stamped something on some wood matchsticks and had a great time. So this last week, when I was out getting coffee, I picked up some extra wooden coffee stirrers. So I was kind of dying to stamp some more on wood. So this is my little you are my home. I really liked that sentiment. This is the larger one that was in the pattern paper, not the sticker from the sticker set. The house, of course, is a sticker. The tree is a sticker. I split it in half and divided it up behind the house. I took that gray pebble pattern paper and cut just a little couple of pieces to make a stone wall. This is 3 of those coffee stirrers on the bottom there, and you can see that I stamped that little square border stamp on the bottom one right there. It kind of feels like the street or the sidewalk. This is definitely the entrance. I did use the coffee sticks again for a mat behind that sentiment. I just stuck them all together with a piece of score tape and cut them down to size to be a little mat behind the heart there. And then repeated one more at the top to kind of bring it all together. This was from the pattern paper. This is wood. I thought I could definitely get away with playing with some more wood on this card. And those coffee sticks are great because they're so thin. They would, you know, this is, I have foam squares that are thicker than this. Some sequins from my stash, a heart sticker from the kit. This is a really nice card. You are my home. I love that sentiment. It's very, very nice. This is on the ivory card base from the card kit. Kindness matters. I like this a lot. This is a beautiful stamp. This is that great kindness stamp from the kit. I stamped that on watercolor paper again with Versamark ink and then embossed it with the Love from Lizzie Emerald City embossing powder. Beautiful embossing powder. I love that. It is so smooth and so shiny. Kindness matters. I actually put the matters together on my silhouette. This is in Sign Painter font. I was really pleased at how well I was able to match the color of the green embossing powder on there. It looks like they belong together. I was a little surprised to not see a Matters stamp in the kit. That seems to be kind of the sentiment of the moment. Kindness matters. This is pattern paper from the kit, trimmed down to leave a little green border around it. The watercolor paper cut across for the middle. These are stickers from the kit and 2 of the gold leaf sequin pieces. This is a very nice card. These are all foam taped up and then coming over the edges of the watercolor paper. These are some Nuvo crystal drops. I believe those are in carnation pink. Here's a nice little pink and green card again. Pink and green always works well. I really, really like that stamp. That's a beautiful stamp. I like that sentiment as well. Kindness matters. As I was rifling through the pattern paper, I kept coming to one of those little squares that just kind of made me happy inside. So this is on the dark chocolate Simon Says stamp card base. Hi. This is pattern paper from the kit, that great striped foiled pattern paper. This is that bronze embossed paper from the kit on the brown cardstock. This is foam taped up on another one of the pattern paper squares and just glued down in the center. I did use some peel-off stickers. These are Love from Lizzie peel-off stickers in chocolate brown, and these are the soft gold peel-off stickers. Used those peel-off stickers from my stash. It's just a simple hello card. Actually, a hi card. This is one of the stickers from the sticker sheet popped up on a foam dot. Nice, masculine, straightforward hello card. Now I actually have another piece of watercolor paper that is embossed in gold. I did 2 embossed in black with clear embossing. I did 2 embossed in gold. So I was interested in seeing if I could make this stamp work without the kind in the middle of it. So on the green apple card base, here is that same stamp embossed in gold. Now this is watercolored with my Pelican watercolors. This is on that watercolor paper. Now I did use one of the single flower stamps and one of the single daisy-ish stamps, emboss those on watercolor paper, fussy cut those out, and arrange them on the center of that bouquet so that they perfectly covered up the word kind. That made me very happy. I actually think with some careful masking, you could do this same thing all in one layer. Just lay down your pieces first. It might take an extra leaf, but I believe you could mask out the kind from the middle of that bouquet. Now this little square part of the watercolor paper is matted with some of the pattern paper from the kit. That's those little yellow daisies and gray paper. And then on top of that pebble textured embossed paper. I think that's really fun that those echo the square part of the watercolor paper, but then they're fussy cut on the side. It looks really nice on that green apple cardstock. Thank you for being so kind. One of the sentiments from the kit, of course, snipped into 3 pieces and stacked on top of each other. Thank you for being so kind. The little green dots all over are Ranger enamel accents in electric lime. Worked very well with this card. I was managed to get some really, really tiny dots out of that, and they do stand up nice and proud. A plain, simple, straightforward thank you card with the nice golden embossed bouquet on the side. By now, I have used kind quite a bit. I have gotten rid of kind. I've used the kindness stamp. I hadn't used the kindness in the block print yet. This is, again, on the ivory card base from the kit. A kindness is never wasted. I really, really, really like this card. Now, I stamped the kind and the Ness stamps on watercolor paper. These are stamped in VersaFine black onyx ink and embossed with some clear embossing powder. Those are then all colored up with my Pelikan gouache watercolors. I did use my silhouette to create the sentiment around that. Now this is in Arial black font. You can see here I actually drew a card out, placed the sentiment where I wanted. I was able to tape the card base onto the paper, send it through the printer again. It printed A is never wasted, Aesop, on the card right where I wanted it. A kindness is never wasted. A nice rainbow. One of the great things about this stamp set is it has 2 sets of leaves that have mirror images of each other. Very handy. I love that. There's another set that does the same thing. I love those stamps. This is lightly colored with a dark green colored pencil. Since I stamped it directly on the ivory card base, I didn't want to bring any watercolor to it. But this is all colored with the watercolor. I did put some of my Spectrum Noir sparkle pen on top of it. This is an old heart brad, actually, that I just snipped the brad part off and glued it down. A kindness is never wasted. Now, we've managed to squeeze 1 pun out of this set so far. And I can't leave you without at least 1 more. So we're back to that nice chocolate card base from the kit. And we've got a random acts of kindness. My little axe is saying, "You are a wonderful person." I actually have an axe die. This is from the Spellbinders Lumberjack Days collection. This is the Camp Out set of dies. The axe is saying, "You're a wonderful person." So it is a random acts of kindness. I did use a scrap of that great sticky bark cherry wood paper that's actually wood. I used it a great deal in my last 10 card video. That's for the handle, a little silver mirror cardstock for the blade. You are a wonderful person and random acts of kindness, again created in my silhouette. I actually printed those on the back of a piece of pattern paper, so it would match the pattern paper that it was on. Again, we've got that bronze embossed paper as the background. We've got that lovely gold embossed Nature Botanicals paper behind that. I think that worked very well. You're a wonderful person. This is yet another random acts of kindness. Again, I thought I would have a really difficult time with this kit, but of course I ended up having much more fun than I ever thought I would. Now, I do have lots of leftovers. I have plenty of pattern paper and scraps of pattern paper. There are many pieces that I didn't even use. I have a good assortment of that great textured, embossed cardstocks, plenty of that. A good amount of stickers. I was actually surprised that I was able to use as many stickers as I did. A lot of these are popping off because I fiddled and fussed around with so many of these. These birds were actually in my art frame before I put the silhouette in there. These will go in my stash. I do have plenty of those nice Doris gold leaf sequins here. A good amount of stuff left over in the kit. And of course, that terrific stamp set. I will get around to trying to stamp this spray of flowers without the kind in the middle of it, and with a couple of the other stamps. Again, these are great mirror images. Here's the other two leaves that are mirror images. Great for making wreaths, great for making frames. Like I said, I had a really great time with this kit. It surprised even me. I want to thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like me, list me, pin me, post me, share me with all your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, and happy crafting. If you would like more detailed information, product links, and better pictures, please visit my blog at cardcutups.wordpress.com.